joining Alex and me for our last segment, we have Roy Johnson. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello, Roy.
Thank you for having me.
Bob was very excited. You're be performing at the Tampa Improv
I'll
next
be at the
weekend.
Tampa Improv with the Return of the Average White Guy tour, July 2nd through the 6th, all
What
next week.
better weekend to be at the...
That's why all the tickets we printed are red, white, and blue. We're going to have a good old-fashioned, old-school American good time.
Okay, I want to ask you all about what the Average White Guy is, or the Return of the Average White Guy is, but first, before, you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I started here about 7 years ago when they opened up the Improv.
But you don't
here.
just do this one, do you?
No, I tour all over the country.
What made you want to be a comedian?
I came down to the Tampa Improv on one of their first open mics. I walked up on stage, and I knew from that moment on, I knew. And I was horrible that night, and I was horrible for the next 2 years.
But people laughing at you is part of the thing, isn't it?
No, nobody was laughing at all for the first 2 years. It was brutal, just the most excruciating pain you can imagine. But you get to a point where you do so bad so much, you stop caring, and then somehow it just starts to flow, and it just starts to work for you.
And just to let you know, I kind of feel that right now. This is my first time ever doing this.
See,
I feel like I'm stumbling and bumbling here.
Yeah, you seem to be doing all right to me. I don't know.
Roy, I thought you were going to tell us the story. You know, I was a little boy, and I would watch George Carlin, who just recently passed, bless his heart.
God bless him.
And he,
there's one good note, though. After Carlin died, all his comics move up one notch.
Who's the comic who breaks
Battlefield
all the fruit?
promotion.
It's Gallagher.
Gallagher.
No, actually, I came from a big family, and in my house, like, there was a lot of us that were good athletes and a lot of us that were really smart. So
Which were you?
I was a little bit of both.
Gotcha.
And the way you got the most attention, besides being the loudest, was to be the funniest. So that was kind of a thing there. And then I was a swimmer, and I grew up going to swim meets, hanging out with older kids, listening to Steve Martin albums and stuff like that. I had them all memorized. And then I had a little black and white TV in my room, and I used to get up late at night, and when I was supposed to be in bed, and I'd watch Letterman, and I would tie a string to the plug and run it across the room. So if I heard my parents coming, I'd pull out the plug. So I used to watch Letterman from when he first came on the air. And I always wanted to be a comic, but I didn't realize it until I hit the stage.
Now, did you see Letterman when he had his morning show way back in the day?
I did.
Probably like 20-some years ago.
We were visiting in Arizona, and they had it on.
He was on in the morning, on like a crazy little comedy
show. He did Stupid Petrus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Roy, tell us about the Return of the Average White Guy.
The Return of the Average White Guy, we wanted to put together a tour. The thing is, all the tours, the comedy tours that are, it's either the Redneck Tour or the Def Jam Tour or the Latino Brothers Tour. There's an Axis of Evil Tour, which is all comics that come from actual terrorist states. I mean, but there was no just plain old average white guy. You know, we're not rednecks, we're not hillbillies, we're not whatever. We're just normal, everyday guys.
Okay, 3 things that makes an average white guy.
3 things that make an average white guy.
I'm not a redneck. I'm not.
No, you know what an average white guy is? An average white guy thinks a good day is having a good chair, a good beer, and a good game, and that's a good day.
Perfect.
Right there.
That's perfect.
That's it right
I'll be
there.
doing that tonight, watching the Rays play baseball.
There you go.
My lazy boy with the clicker in hand.
They already played today, and we won, by the way.
Yeah, they
spanked
the Marlins, man.
Wow.
Yeah, Roy, you're going to be there. You're going to be there.
July 2nd through the 6th.
You know, we have an average, the Return of the Average White Guy. Well, I want you to stay here for just a minute.
Okay.
You're going to be at the Improv.
Okay.
There is a boy by the name of Troy Underwood here who is here with all of his coworkers. We'd like to have him come up here. He's, I guess, retiring or leaving the company that he's with, and he's been there for 7 or 8 years now. I believe he's going to tell us some of his mentors.
I just wish I could get to retirement.
Now, is he an average white guy?
He's too young to retire.
That is absolutely an average white guy. That is
Love the hat.
This
Love the
guy
hat.
gets up early on Saturday and goes to Home Depot with his wife. He's an average white guy.
Do you get up early Saturday and go to Home Depot with your wife?
Oh, yes.
See?
So he is the average white guy. You and your wife need to go see Roy next weekend.
Are you confused by hip-hop lyrics?
Sometimes.
Yes, he's an average white guy.
When they ramble too fast, I don't get those.
So did you have to take your wife to the Sex and the City movie?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, I hear you're leaving the company that you've helped grow into the company that it is today.
Yes, I have. Been there 8 years, and it's been a fun 8 years, and I'm moving on to some exciting things.
Who are some of your mentors that make this big, huge party that you're having here?
Well, there's a couple guys that haven't made it here yet, but a guy named George Pardo and Tom Cool, great last name, cool guy.
He's a cool guy?
He's a cool guy. So two of my favorite mentors and people that helped develop me.
Are you a little nervous that you're here at television cameras everywhere?
Yeah, a little bit, but being in sales, you shuck and jive when you have to.
Well, where are you moving on to?
I'm moving to a company called Environmental Stoneworks that concentrates on cultured stone.
Oh, they sound like much more fun than this environmental company that you're going to.
I know. I'm going to try to bring as many of them with me as I can,
Oh,
continue the party.
boy. Oh, boy.
Get the train going,
boy.
There you go. Now, Troy, meet Roy. Did you guys know your names rhymed?
No.
Troy and Roy.
Well, we did after you said it.
You put the Roy
We're not
T.
dumb.
Roy.
We're white. We're not dumb.
That was pretty funny. But you guys are average, so.
Pretty much.
I'm
come
taller
on,
than
Janet.
average.
They're above
He's
average.
taller than average.
For crying out loud.
And I'm prettier than average, but we'll
Gotcha.
round it
I
out.
don't know about that hat though. That is a little questionable.
Well, camo, man. Camo.
Very nice.
So
It is a party.
for everybody here at the Brewing Company, drinks are on Troy, right? One round.
Yes, for sure, man. For sure. Let's get it on.
Congratulations to you. Good
Thank
luck
you very
in the
much.
future.
I
And have fun
appreciate that.
at your party.
I will. Thank you.
And Roy, we'll see you
Next
next
week.
at the Tampa Improv, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Absolutely. Come
That's
on
5
out.
days.
We're going to be filming a DVD all week, so you might get yourself on our DVD, a little back of your head, or maybe you're laughing or something like that. So please come out and support this.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Alex,
you.
you did a great job.